ask for a roll call.
Blunier's absent. Hilliard's absent. Leach.
Here.
Menold.
Here.
Newman.
Here.
Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, if you join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are no public hearing, presentations, special reports. Anybody in the public like to make a comment? You come up to the mic and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is John Rose. I live here in Morton out on Gray Wolf Court. And I just came to basically put a face to the email that I sent out to the board earlier today concerning the use of solar energy systems on residences and the desire to see the code updated to better align the allowance for ground-mounted systems to match up with the Illinois Shines program. I don't know if it's by happenstance or actual kind of plan, but the current limitation aligns pretty well with what was the old limit within that program. They have raised that substantially, it was 10 kilowatts, it's now 25 kilowatts as the maximum system allowed, basically in recognition of the need for larger systems for residences that have higher energy needs. So I'm just basically asking the board to look at the situation and look at allowing where there are larger lots with those larger needs to let residences evaluate the needs. There are circumstances where roof-mounted systems are not very appropriate or practical, and just to give people the flexibility to make the choices. I would kind of point out that in relation to other allowed accessory uses of property, the cap that I propose is 1,800 square feet, still scaling with the lot at the current 1.6% rate, which really, to get to that cap, it would take quite a large lot, a bit over 2.5 acres. And compared to other uses like a building for lawn and garden, swimming pools, patios, it's kind of a unique case. And that at least the way the code is written, in the case of swimming pools with their surrounding patios, there are, from viewing on the GIS website and Google Earth, there are quite a few residential pools within Morton that use that much space and maybe even more, and are on actually much smaller lots than what that maximum case would be. So just kind of suggesting that maybe there's a balance to be struck, especially in consideration that solar energy systems are really a very great positive. Hopefully there's not much argument on the need and growing need for renewable energy in our energy mix and the various things that have disrupted the energy markets, and trying to better position the community and Illinois and the USA as a whole to not be quite so impacted. Let individuals do their part to help out.
Thank you.
Okay, I know this isn't really a question back and forth, but if you have questions and care to reach out, please do.
I think we all have your email address and that, so
Yep.
appreciate the info.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. The consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes, the regular meeting, August 15th, 2022, and the closed session, August 15th, 2022, and the approval of the bills. If we could have a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have nothing tonight. Village clerk,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
village administrator.
I have one item tonight, Your Honor. I have ordinance 23-06, an ordinance making amendments regarding Class G liquor licenses to Chapter 8 of Title 3 of the Morton Municipal Code.
We can have a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Just in brief, this amendment is adding basically a sentence to the current code. We have had businesses in town that want to offer, like, come in and have a glass of wine while you shop, or they, you know, they're opening a grand opening and want to offer beer or wine to their customers at, you know, at no cost. However, we have no mechanism at the current time to monitor their insurance, and that they have the current liquor bond and the other requirements that we require of, you know, liquor stores and bars and restaurants. So this is just adding verbiage that it flat out says, if that's what you're going to do, you have to get this Class G license at a cost of $60 a year in order to do that. It pretty much just codifies what we're currently doing, because we are requiring them to do it when we become aware of it, but this puts it in black and white.
Any questions?
So this is for an event where the guests would be able to,
Have a glass of wine while they stroll and shop, or, you know, we've had it where it was a medical facility that, you know, was having like an open door evening to come in and view their massage offerings and that kind of thing, and you could have a glass of beer or wine while you did so, just that type of thing. They wouldn't have a license for any type of sale. We had a nail salon in town that wanted to offer, you know, champagne to their customers if they got a certain level of pedicure or whatever it was, and this would allow for that. So.
but a one-time open house type of thing also, or not?
Right, right. It just kind of puts a little more responsibility on to make sure they've got the proper insurance.
And you have had some people in the past that
Correct.
have come in asking about licensing. In that
Only one has
situation.
actually came in and asked. They all just think they can just go ahead and do it
Okay.
without asking, and we find out either before or after the fact, and this will allow us, you know, probably put it on our Facebook and that type of thing. If you run a business and this is what you want to do, in order to be in compliance, it's going to cost you $60 a year, and you can do it as many times as you want, kind of a thing. So.
Any other questions? Not, call the roll.
Parrot,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's all I have.
All right, Police Chief,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Corporation Counsel,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
and Director of Public Works.
Several items tonight, Your Honor. First in front of you is item A, resolution approving easement and temporary construction easement with Morton Buildings Incorporated.
We can have a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Just briefly, these are the temporary and permanent easements in order to put the water line in. This will be the stuff on the west side of 155 between the interstate and Erie Court. Morton Buildings has been excellent to work with.
And this is water line for precision planning, number 55.
With
Any
that.
questions? Call the roll.
Mennel,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I might add while we're talking about precision planning, if any of the public wants to see the grand opening, groundbreaking, they can go to our website or Facebook page. It has pictures of the site and the speeches, what went on that day, and they are going to give us new pictures every week or two that we can update that so the citizens and all of us can watch the progress. They do plan on having the 47-foot tall walls up by Thanksgiving and be working on the roof. So it's quite the process out there. Okay, Craig?
Next, item B, it's a resolution authorizing agreement between the State of Illinois Department of Transportation and the Village of Morton for installation of traffic signal infrastructure.
I move approval of Resolution 0623.
Second.
Just briefly, this is the Birchwood and Detroit intersection that we share costs in that. So this is 15% or $2,898 towards those improvements, which mainly consist of cabinet and loop detector work.
Any questions? If not, call the roll.
Newman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And lastly, I have item C. It's a resolution authorizing amendment to professional services agreement between the Village of Morton and Good Energy.
I move to approve.
Second.
And I'd be glad to have Pat weigh in. He's been meeting with me with Good Energy. This would make an amendment to our professional services agreement and revise their fee from .00075 to .001 per kilowatt hour. Currently don't have a contract or a contract through them for our citizens, but here comes September, October, we will be working with them and starting to look forward to hopefully some better electrical costs.
And just supplementing that, I'd say work has been persistently ongoing behind the scenes, attempting to develop opportunities for alternate supply contracts since we went out for bid in April, and those efforts have been bearing fruit slowly and steadily, and so the September, October window is hopefully the culmination of those efforts since April.
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. Zoning and code enforcement?
I have 3 items tonight, Your Honor. First item is petition 22-07 SB.
I can have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Could you explain, Brad?
Yes, this was a special use request for 800 West Birchwood Street. The current zoning is I2. The proposed special use would be a special use to permit recreational facilities. Before I go further, this was given a favorable recommendation by the Plan Commission, but since that Plan Commission meeting, I was contacted by the petitioner, and they are no longer pursuing that property, so they no longer need this special use. But under council, I believe we need to still vote on this.
That's my recommendation, is that you vote on it and vote no if you desire to proceed in the manner the petitioner has recommended and requested.
All right. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Call the roll.
Parrot.
No.
Newman.
No.
Menold.
No.
Leach.
No.
Motion fails.
The next item tonight, Your Honor, is B and C is combined. It's an ordinance making amendments to Title 10 of the Morton Municipal Code regarding exceptions to yard requirements for particular zoning districts, and an ordinance making amendments to Section 10.10.2 of the Morton Municipal Code regarding variances for accessory uses, buildings, and structures.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So in your packet is a fairly lengthy ordinance. I can highlight the additions and changes to what's currently there. Our current ordinance does not address accessory structures in the B3 zoning, so we do now address that with this ordinance, and it is subject to the same regulations that we have for accessory structures in the residential districts. The second item would be, there's a proposed change to accessory building setbacks in the residential districts to set a minimum setback of 20 feet off the street. This addresses the scenarios where a lot is on a corner, which is not a 90-degree corner lot, which could result in an accessory building being very close to the street, but still meeting the existing setback. And the third change would be a new driveway standard, which would be inserted for single-car garages only. And the fourth item, which I'm going to let Pat please maybe discuss that.
So Section 10.4.3 of your code is a part of the general regulation, so it's not intended to be district-specific regulations, but rather rules that apply across all zoning districts. What's happened over time is through maybe stylistic preferences of drafters, or maybe sometimes drafters taking the easy way out, if we had a change that was going to affect 3 zoning districts, it got put in section 1043. So instead of being general regulations, it became multi-district regulations, and it led to a really complicated set of steps one would have to follow in order to figure out exceptions to yard requirements. So I'd first have to look in the residential district, if I had a lot in the R1, figure out what the requirements are, and I'd have to look for any exceptions in the R1 district, and then I'd have to know somehow inherently that I should also check 1043 in the general regulations and find anything in there that's assigned as being specific to R1. So it made things complicated. Brad and I, over the course of our time working together, probably mainly at my initiation, had discussed the fact that it's kind of convoluted and hard to follow. Somebody should be able to look in R1 for all of the R1 rules and not have to look in 1043 as well. So what I did, because this was some of the substantive tasks we wanted to accomplish required work in 1043 anyway, I decided this was a time we're going to make that change where we grab anything in 1043 that is specific to a district, even if it's specific to 3 districts, and we put it in that district section. So if we had a rule that was going to apply in, R4, B1, and B2, instead of saying in one place in 1043, I moved it to R4 and also to the B1 and also to the B2 section. So by the time this ordinance is done, 1043 will be back to what was intended for it, which is general regulations applying across each and every zoning district, which there are only very few of. And in the district-specific sections of our code, you'll be able to find all of the district-specific regulations. So I think it would make life easier for our citizens. I think it'll make Brad and I's life easier. We have discussions about particular projects and questions that come up. So it's a stylistic change, but I think one that improves the clarity of your code.
Any questions after that? All right, call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Nothing else tonight, Your Honor.
All right. Village trustees, anyone have anything tonight? There is no need for closed session, so we could have a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, John.